Hey guys, it's Cassie from And Other Lovelies, and today I am here to show you a brief look at my 2017 December Daily Foundation pages. So I am using a 6x8 binder from Studio Calico. I snagged this in their mega sale, and I ended up pulling this one and being really inspired by the color scheme, the black and white, and this super bright pop of green teal color. So last year I did a really traditional album, red, black, white, pops of traditional greens, and really to make this year feel and be different than last year's album, I decided to switch up the color scheme, and as you'll see as I flip through here, use a lot more non-traditional Christmas colors. So I've got purples, I've got teal, lots of pink, still the traditional black and white, but very little red in this album. And kind of my idea here is to make it feel different than last year. I'm using a different size, using 6x8 instead of a 4x6, and switching up that color scheme again just to try to make it feel like a different project, because a lot of my life actually looks the same as last year. So I'm going to do a quick flip through of the pages that I've gotten built and talk about some of the ideas that I have for the month of December. So I'm starting off here. I've got a little tassel. This came from an older kit from Ali Edwards. Little tabs here that say 2017. And I've just used a variety of page protectors here for placeholders, some for photos, some for paper. We'll see how the month goes. Something you'll notice throughout the album is I've put in a few embellishments that all coordinate together. Here you can see I've picked 3 different number ones. I'm not sure which one I'll use, but it'll make it easy for me when the first day of the month comes. Got in spots here for 3. I put 3 here to symbolize that this will also be day 3. I'm also using quite a few transparent pieces. I love the ability to peek through to the next page. I don't know about you guys, but I really struggle with the difference between more of a vintage feel and then a white feel. The majority of this album I'm just using white instead of a cream or a vintage colored paper. There are a few times where I grab some pieces from the Fa La La collection that I just loved, and I'm trying to keep those on pages where white isn't available so that you can't really tell so much that it is a little bit more of a duller color. But this coordinates so nicely with this backdrop here that I have to use it. I've got a couple of these 2x2 spreads in here. Not sure if I'm going to cut them down or keep the full spread. It will kind of depend on how many photos I have. Again, lots of options for the number 5. I don't know what my pictures are going to look like. A few transparent pieces here. Again, not sure if I'll adhere something to the top of this, but giving myself the option to use it later on. I've also got a couple pieces where I've hole punched interactive elements. Here's one that I want to use. It's from a Brandy Kincaid kit with, I believe, Feed Your Craft. And I love the bright purple here with this Look for the Magic, and again that teal coordinates so nicely. But I'm not sure if I'm going to hole punch it on this side or hole punch it here, and I also want to leave room for some of these more transparent pieces. So items like this that I know I want to use, I've just stuck in a 4x6 opening so that I can grab it later on. So you can kind of get a peek here. We've got that for 6. This was a 7 Swans of Swimming, and then a little flare 7 that came in a Studio Calico kit that I wanted to use. I've also stuck in some sequins here and there throughout the album. Again, just encouraging myself to use up a lot of the stuff that just sits in my stash. I feel like December Daily is a great opportunity to use some of the more playful products. And so I'm putting them in there so that when the month comes, I don't have to seek them out in all of my everyday items. Again, using some of the more fun pieces that I've been holding on to this since, I think, since 2015. Trying to get it into the album, pulling colors across the page here, and again, trying to pull things that coordinate. So the brown from this wood grain, I matched up with the brown from this card from Paper Issues. I'm using a variety of kits here, a lot of old content from my stash. I got a grab bag of Christmas goodies from Gossamer Blue that I pulled through, some things from some Ali Edwards kits from various designers, some from the, I think this is like City Sidewalks, I can't remember who it's by, and then this is some crepe paper. I can tell you this is like a Dear Lizzie cutout. Has nothing to do with Christmas, but the black, white, red kind of looked like a bow for Christmas. I figure I can put a picture of my boyfriend's dog or something on this page. Otherwise, I don't know why I would ever use this cutout. So again, just trying to pull out some of those more playful elements. I purchased a couple tip-in packets from Illustrated Faith from last year's Christmas line, and I really like the interspersing of the more religious phrases throughout the album. Placeholder here with the 2x2 pocket. I have very few alphas left here, so I was able to spell joy, but that was one of the few words that I could spell. This one I think is from Allie Edwards. Let's see. Throughout the year, I don't know about you guys, but I've been kind of holding on to pieces that have numbers. So this is an old piece from a Studio Calico kit. It says 11, and I just threw it into a baggie with a bunch of other numbers and pulled it out here for December Daily. Here's a 3x3 card from A Beautiful Mess. I just hole punched directly into it, and I kind of like the ability to flip that outside of the page protector. I might end up adhering a number to the top of this or an Avery Index tab to the side. I'm not sure yet, but just keeping it in there because I like how it pops with some of these other elements. Another transparency here. This one I'll probably use the black and white side instead and put a photo here. I also cut out some of these from a cut apart sheet and plan to hole punch these in. I'm just not sure if I'm going to hole punch it on this side or on this side yet. So again, I'll wait and see what my photos show. And I'm planning to just circle or star whatever number date it ends up being. These are from a paper pad. I can't remember the brand, but I found it at Tuesday Morning, really inexpensive. And when I decided to go with these more non-traditional colors, I decided to use up some of those papers. A few other transparent elements. These bits here were scraps in my scrap box, and I just hole punched directly into them. This was the size of the scrap, and so I just made it work. You'll see a couple of these throughout the album. Same thing here with this black and white paper from A Beautiful Mess. You can see it doesn't quite go to the tops and bottoms, but I'm just putting it in there, planning to adhere something to it, make a list, add a number, just trying to use up some of the beautiful pieces that I had. Some more sequins you'll see. You guys will see a lot of recurring themes here throughout the album. Pairing items that go well together. So this Stop Cookie Time, and then I've got this gingerbread cutout. Hopefully that'll be a spark for me. Maybe that is to bake cookies. Maybe that's to include a picture of my family making cookies from the past. Or maybe moving it to a day when this actually happens. This is a 3x3 card from A Beautiful Mess. I think it was for 2015, but just pulling the 15 out to use here. Another one of those tip-ins. A couple wood veneer numbers. And quite a few blank page protectors as well. This is one of the interactive elements from a crepe paper line. Planning to adhere maybe some little Polaroid zips to the front of this and include maybe a few photos of the same thing, different angles, or use it for journaling. Not really sure yet. Again, I just picked it, even though it's floral and more for spring, I loved how well it coordinated with the album, and you can't go wrong with gold. Here's another instance of that cut apart sheet that I'll just hole punch right in. And another 3x3 piece there. So you can see even little pieces chipboard here. I haven't adhered these down, but I'd like to use them, so I've stuck them in. A tag here. I'm really excited to use up these 3x3 cards from A Beautiful Mess. This one says current favorite TV shows and then current favorite songs. Not sure what those will be mid-December, but they've been sitting in my stash. I need to use them up, and the black and white coordinated really well. Paired up this Good Vibes from an Amy Tan kit with this current favorite songs. I might adhere that to the front here, or keep it here with this Fa La La paper, again representing song. We'll see how these pan out, if I end up adhering them or just keeping them as interactive elements. I'm not sure yet. Loving all these see-through bits through. I've got a spread of blues. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this. I love it all together. I'm not wild about it next to the teal, but I put all these items together just to create some cohesivity across. There's another one of those bits there, and pulling in some silver on that spread. You can see here towards the end I've just got a bunch of random bits that hadn't yet been used, pulling colors together that work, and giving myself some flexibility to move things around as I need to. Of course, I'm going to be adding a lot of photos and stories, so knowing a lot of these things will probably end up moving around. But I love seeing all my favorite supplies in one place because it'll make it easier on me when I'm trying to put this together at the end of the month. So this would be an example where I've just pulled together a few items. You know, here's a 25, here's one of those little bits from Allie Edwards. Not sure how I'm going to use these things, but by slipping them into a page protector, I don't have to go digging for them. Another tip in at the back, and that is the end. So I'm really excited about how this is coming together. I've been adding items to it probably for the last month. I started with a 4x6 album and then realized it was already full and there were no photos in it. So in effort to use up more of my stash and just really appreciate the project, I decided to up the size, and we'll see how it goes. With that, I wanted to give you a quick look at how I'm storing my products for this project. I'm using one of these iris containers here, and you guys might have seen me do this last year, but I like to sort just again some of my favorite products that I plan to use in one of these containers. It makes it really easy for portable storage as I travel over Christmas and go up to my parents' house. It also makes it easy to keep the project more contained. I'm using a Raskog cart as well for some of my other stamps and just essentials like ink pads, extra adhesive, scissors, tape, that type of thing. But all my favorites are stored in here. So I've got things sorted by color, you know, stars here, all the whites are together, all the reds, teals. I've got a couple jumping off points like then and now that I might include if I get stuck for storytelling. I've got some extra numbers, 3x4 cards here, and 4x6 and extra 4x4 cards here. Something that I'm trying this year is I pulled out some cards that are more prompts, like this one, some days you just need pancakes for dinner. If I run into a day where I don't have dinner plans and I'm stumped, okay, let me just make pancakes and use that card. Same idea here with the shopping one, buy your own flowers, just some simple AM, PM, being able to highlight the day of the week. Just to be able to use some of these as filler in case I get stuck for something to do. And you can see here I've got just a bunch of other cards that coordinate color-wise. I know there's a birthday party I'm going to be going to one day, so I pulled this one out, planning to use it. Pulled out some really neutral washi tapes. Could never go wrong with black and white in my book. I've got some wood veneers that I've pulled out, some flair. I've pulled out a few things. Again, these are more story prompts, but like I Am Strong. If I make it to the gym, that would be a really great one to use. This was hard. There's always days in the month that don't go according to plan. So wanted to include some more of those real elements. And then over here, let's see, I've got some pink pieces, you know, even just a picture, a die cut of a house. I might be able to use that, or a donut. I'm sure at some point throughout the month I will have a donut. So pull out a few of those things. Even though they aren't Christmassy, they fit the color scheme. Up here I've got gold, white, and a few other larger pieces. Underneath here, I don't know if you can see all of this. On the side here I've got quite a few alphas, extra page protectors and flip ups, a few Christmas stickers. This is from the Snow and Cocoa line last year. Stickers, word stickers, I can never go wrong with those. And then just a bunch of white, gray, aqua alphas that coordinate nicely with what I'm planning to use this year. Grabbed a pink one as well. A couple extra tassels in case I use them. These were those tip-ins that I mentioned, so I put the pack in there. And a few strips of washi tape, this one from Illustrated Faith and this one from Bella Boulevard. I love word stickers, so I've got those. Some chipboard stickers that are almost gone. And then the bottom here is just some extra paper. I don't anticipate needing this, but if I get bored with what I've already put into my album or need some extra pops of color, some of this is paper that you've already seen in the book. Some of it not, you know, is different. All again in that non-traditional pink, teal, white, black color scheme. throwing in some pops of wood grain now and again, gold, of course, and anything that looks scripted or messy, I plan to use. So lots of odds and ends here in the box. Again, not sure if I'm going to need all of this. I probably have enough in the album as is, but I love to organize. It makes me really happy to do so. And so putting these supplies together in here was really a huge part of the fun. And so I'm excited to get the album started. We purchased a Christmas tree yesterday, so I've got some photos from there, and I haven't printed anything out yet, but planning to start work on the album tomorrow, and wanted to give you guys a sneak peek. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear if anyone else is doing a more non-traditional color scheme for their 2017 album, especially if you did a traditional color scheme last year and have that same desire to make your project different than the previous year. I know the memories will be different, but it's hard when so much of the routine is the same. And in my life, I am unmarried, I don't have any kids or any pets or anything, so a lot of my December will be going to work. So looking forward, though, of course, to savoring the season and really just celebrating the little moments and the tiny victories that this month will entail. So with that, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos, and I would love to hear more about your December daily or other holiday project that you have in the works. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll chat soon. Bye!